You know, after more than 30 years working with patients over 50, I've learned something interesting. We don't always need complicated meals or fancy diets. Sometimes a simple, familiar food like a morning egg can become a small medicine for the heart if we pair it the right way. I often ask my patients, have you ever felt this way? You eat simply, yet your body starts feeling better in a very natural way. Eggs are already a complete food full of protein, vitamins, and minerals. But what surprises many people is this. The benefits of eggs multiply when they're paired with the right ingredients in your kitchen. Just like life, when a good person meets the right friend, their energy becomes stronger. Food works the same way. I remember a patient named Helen, 62 years old, who once told me, "Doctor, I've eaten eggs my whole life, but I didn't realize that eating them the right way could actually help my heart." She smiled, though I could see a hint of regret in her eyes. And I told her gently, it's never too late to start taking care of your heart. When eggs are paired with tomatoes, spinach, or mushrooms, your body absorbs nutrients much more effectively. Not because you're eating more, but because you're eating smarter. And this always brings me joy when working with older patients. Just one small change in your daily meals can help lower cholesterol, strengthen your heart, protect your eyes, and support your bones, all without complicated supplements or strict diets. So today, I want to sit down with you like two older friends, sharing a warm cup of tea, and talk about three very simple combinations, each one surprisingly powerful. Are you ready? Because this story might be exactly what your heart needs right now. 1. Eggs and tomatoes. A simple partnership that protects your heart? When I was a young doctor, I used to think heart health required lots of medication and complex nutrition plans. But after decades of working with older adults, I realized something. Our hearts often only need the simplest things, and one of those things is an egg and a tomato. It sounds ordinary, doesn't it? But in reality, both science and real-life results strongly support this combination. I remember one morning when Mrs. Linda, 68 years old, came in for a follow-up visit. She told me, "Doctor, I've eaten eggs all my life. But this time, when I made scrambled eggs with tomatoes like you suggested, my body felt lighter, more comfortable, almost like my heart could breathe easier." I smiled because I knew what she felt wasn't her imagination. It was lycopene, the powerful antioxidant in tomatoes, finally being absorbed properly by her body. You see, lycopene is like a silent warrior fighting oxidative stress. But here's what many people don't know. Lycopene is only absorbed well when eaten with fat, and the natural fats in eggs are the perfect bridge, helping lycopene enter the body effectively. That's why the tomato and egg dishes our mothers used to cook turn out to be far more scientific than we ever imagined. Lycopene does wonderful things. It protects heart cells from damage. It calms hidden inflammation in blood vessels. It slows aging, like giving the heart a protective shield. And several major studies in Korea and the US show that lycopene helps reduce risks of prostate, breast, and digestive cancers. But what impresses me most is this. Tomatoes help lower blood pressure when eaten regularly. Vitamin P in tomatoes works like a rhythm keeper for blood vessels, keeping them flexible and preventing excessive tightening. I've had patients with years of high blood pressure improve their numbers simply by changing their breakfast, a fried egg, and a few slices of soft cooked tomato. 6 weeks later, their blood pressure dropped enough for us to reduce medication. No magic, just a body healing itself when given the right nourishment. And here's something interesting. A whole tomato has only about 35 calories, but it's full of water, fiber, and minerals helping flush excess sodium from the body, something especially important for older adults. So, when you pair eggs with tomatoes, you're building a protective wall for your heart. Eggs protein, healthy fats, vitamin D, B12, choline. Tomato es lycopene vitamin C, vitamin P, fiber. Two simple foods, yet incredibly powerful together. I always remind my patients, don't wait for your heart to cry out before you care for it. The heart is like an old friend who endures quietly, and one simple dish tomatoes and eggs can be a daily gift to that friend. So tomorrow morning, if you're unsure what to eat, try a warm plate of eggs with tomatoes. And as you enjoy it, remember, you're helping your heart feel younger, stronger in the gentlest, most natural way. 2. Eggs and spinach. Protecting your eyes and nourishing your blood. You know, whenever I talk about spinach, I always remember something a senior colleague once joked. If vegetables had a queen, spinach would sit on the throne. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. It's no coincidence that the WHO, Time Magazine, and Harvard School of Public Health all place spinach among the top 10 superfoods in the world. But what impressed me more than any list or title is how this simple leafy green supports older adults in a way that's natural, gentle, and deeply effective. I remember a winter afternoon when Mrs. Margaret, 64 years old, sat in front of me with slightly red, tired eyes. She said, "Doctor, it feels like my vision gets blurry whenever I read or watch TV. It's not as clear as before." I asked about her diet, and just as I suspected, she was barely eating any dark leafy greens. So I suggested she make one small change. Add a handful of spinach to her morning eggs. Scrambled eggs, omelets, fried eggs, anything she liked. 6 weeks later, she came back with brighter eyes and told me something I'll never forget. "I don't know why, but my eyes feel stronger, less tired, almost like they've been oiled, doctor." I smiled and said, "That's not magic, Margaret. That's lutein and zeaxanthin working hard for your eyes. Add a handful of spinach to your morning eggs. Fried eggs, scrambled eggs, sunny side up. It doesn't matter. Just add the spinach." 6 weeks later, she came back with brighter eyes and said something I'll never forget. "I don't know why, doctor, but my eyes feel stronger, less tired, almost like they've been oiled." I smiled and told her, "That's not magic, Margaret. That's the lutein and zeaxanthin working hard for your eyes." And lutein and zeaxanthin, the silent guardians of your vision. When you're in your 50 seconds or 60 seconds, your eyes simply aren't as sharp as they used to be. The retina, the part that captures light, starts to weaken. Blue light from phones, TVs, and computers makes them tired faster, inflamed more easily, and more prone to macular degeneration. But lutein and zeaxanthin found abundantly in spinach act like natural filters that shield your eyes from damage. And here's the part most people don't know. These nutrients are fat-soluble, which means if you eat spinach alone, your body barely absorbs them. But when you eat spinach with eggs, the natural fats in eggs act like a key, unlocking the door so lutein and zeaxanthin can be absorbed far more efficiently. I often tell my patients, spinach is the eye vitamin, but eggs are the vehicle that delivers it exactly where it needs to go. And when the two are combined, your eyes soak up nutrients the way a dry plant soaks up water. Not just for your eyes, but for your blood as well. Over the years, I've met so many older adults who had mild anemia without even realizing it. They thought they were just tired, dizzy, or out of breath when walking, not knowing those could be signs of iron or folate deficiency. And here's what's fascinating. Spinach is naturally rich in both iron and folate. Iron helps your body produce hemoglobin, the molecule that carries oxygen in your blood. Folate acts like the craftsman that helps create new blood cells. But why pair spinach with eggs? Because eggs provide high-quality protein with all the essential amino acids your body needs to actually use iron and folate. Iron can't do its job unless your body has enough building blocks to make blood, and protein is that building block. So when spinach and eggs go together, your body gets the raw materials to make blood, the nutrients to nourish that blood, and the energy to keep it circulating smoothly. Robert, 72 years old, once told me, "Doctor, I always thought anemia was something young women get. I didn't expect me to have it." His diet was simple: white bread, very few vegetables, and a hard-boiled egg each morning. I didn't ask him to overhaul his entire lifestyle. I simply said, "Add spinach every time you eat eggs." That's it. 3 months later, he returned for a checkup. His hemoglobin levels were back in a healthy range, and he said with a smile, "I don't feel as tired anymore. Even light walking doesn't leave me out of breath." This wasn't rare. I've seen this happen over and over again. A small suggestion with big results. If you want to protect your eyes and prevent age-related vision decline, try sunny side-up eggs with lightly sautéed spinach, scrambled eggs with spinach and a little garlic, or an omelet rolled with fresh spinach. Simple meals, but powerful nourishment for your eyes, your blood, and your whole body. And remember this, your eyes hold some of the most beautiful memories of your life. Your grandchild's smile, an evening sunset, the face of someone you love. Keeping your eyes healthy means keeping your ability to enjoy those precious moments. So the next time you pick up a handful of spinach and a few eggs, know that you're doing something good for today and for all the years ahead. And your heart, your eyes, your whole body will thank you for it. 3. Eggs and mushrooms. Strengthening your bones and cleaning your arteries. I often tell my older patients, after age 50, your bones and your heart are like two old friends. When you take care of one, the other gets stronger too. And it's wonderful when a single food supports both your bones and your blood vessels, while also being incredibly easy to cook. Mushrooms. A few years ago, I met a patient named Henry, 70 years old. He had back pain, struggled getting out of bed in the morning, and his cholesterol numbers were creeping up. He told me, "Doctor, I don't eat much, so why are my bones weak and my cholesterol high?" I looked at his eating habits and said with a gentle laugh, "You're missing something important. Mushrooms." Mushrooms, a wonderful natural source of vitamin D. What's fascinating is that mushrooms are one of the very few foods that naturally contain vitamin D. And for older adults, producing vitamin D from sunlight just isn't as effective as it used to be. Some people sit in the sun every day and still show deficiency on their blood tests. Vitamin D is like a key that helps your body absorb calcium. And calcium is what keeps your bones strong, prevents osteoporosis, and reduces the risk of fractures, something that becomes truly dangerous in our 50 seconds, 60 seconds, and beyond. So when you pair mushrooms with eggs, a food already rich in protein and containing natural vitamin D, you're creating a perfect synergy for your bones and muscles. I often compare it to building a house. Calcium is the bricks, protein is the steel frame, and vitamin D is the builder who decides whether that house stands strong or falls apart. Without vitamin D, no matter how many bricks you have, the house of your bones will still be weak. Shiitake mushrooms, the cleaners of your blood vessels. But that's just one part of the story. What truly amazes me about mushrooms, especially shiitake mushrooms, is their ability to clean out your arteries. Shiitake mushrooms contain 3 powerful compounds. Aritetanine naturally lowers LDL, the bad cholesterol. Linolenic acid boosts HDL, the good cholesterol. Vitamin E protects blood vessels from oxidative damage. Together, these benefits are so impressive that the American Heart Association lists shiitake mushrooms among the top foods for cardiovascular health. I've had many patients who simply added shiitake mushrooms to their meals 3 or 4 times a week, and their LDL levels dropped noticeably without needing to change much else in their lifestyle. A remarkable study. A study published by the Korean Society of Food Science and Nutrition followed people who drank shiitake mushroom tea for 12 weeks. The results surprised many doctors, myself included. LDL dropped, triglycerides dropped, total cholesterol also decreased, meaning mushrooms don't just lower cholesterol, they help rebalance the entire lipid system, naturally and gently. And here's a detail most people don't know. The stem of the shiitake mushroom contains 4 times more fiber than the cap. Most home cooks throw the stems away, but in reality, that's the part that acts like a little broom clearing out debris and plaque from your blood vessels. I always remind my patients, don't throw away the stems, chop them up, add them to soups, stir fries, or mix them right into your eggs. And eggs, the final piece of the puzzle. When mushrooms and eggs come together, your body receives a powerful trio that nourishes. your bones, your muscles, your blood vessels, all through high-quality protein, vitamin D, brain-supporting choline, calcium, cholesterol-lowering compounds, fiber and B vitamins from the mushrooms. A simple meal with remarkable benefits. I still remember Henry's expression when he came back for follow-up. "Doctor, I've been eating eggs with mushrooms every morning. It's simple, but it really makes me feel better." He smiled, and I could tell he had found that lightness in his step, again the kind many older adults desperately miss. The message I want to leave with you: once we reach our 50 seconds and 60 seconds, the most precious thing isn't eating a lot, it's eating what our bodies truly need. A few mushrooms, an egg or two, sometimes that's all it takes to nourish your bones, support your arteries, and keep your heart healthier each day. And sometimes, one small change at breakfast can add years of healthier living to your life. So tomorrow morning, when you pick up a handful of shiitake mushrooms, remember this: you're giving your bones and your heart a simple, beautiful gift, humble but incredibly powerful. My friend, if you've stayed with me until now, I know you're not just interested in food, you're genuinely trying to take care of your body in a more meaningful way. And I deeply appreciate that. After more than 35 years in medicine, I've realized this: good health doesn't always come from big things. Sometimes it starts with an egg, a tomato, a handful of spinach, or a few slices of mushroom. Things anyone can find in a small kitchen. But when we combine them wisely, the body responds beautifully. Your heart beats steadier. Your eyes stay bright longer. Your bones feel stronger. And every step becomes lighter, more confident. I've always believed that after 50, health isn't just about living longer. It's about living lighter, more freely, and cherishing each moment with the people we love. If today's conversation gave you a little motivation, a spark of hope, or even just one simple idea to care for yourself, thank you for staying until the end. And if you'd like to keep walking this journey with me, hearing new stories each week, learning simple, practical health tips for midlife and beyond, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. It's completely free, but it might be one of the best decisions you make for your health this year. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and let each video become a gentle companion on your path to living healthy, living slowly, and living joyfully. Thank you for being here. Wishing you and your family health, peace, and warmth today and in every day ahead.